He's upside down the front stretch.
Oh, tough break for Brendan Rogers. Has led pretty much the entire way here tonight at Kokomo. Just a little too high on the racetrack, upside down, and his race is over.
Man, that is an absolute heartbreaker right there. That's a one-way ticket to Heartbreak City for the 20 car of Brendan Rogers. Had so much promise here tonight. Won last week's main event. And I was going to mention this earlier in the pre-race, but that turn 4 wall will sneak up on you in a hurry if you don't run your correct line down there. And that's exactly what happened to Brendan Rogers. He hit the right rear on the wall, shifted all his weight over the left side, and just kind of traction flipped right there on the left side and flipped him right over. And with that, David Heilemann will now take the lead with just under 5 laps to go.
Don't look now, Chase. Alex Bergeron from 17th is up to 4th. I do believe we're going to have one. We're going to get a restart in. We'll see if Bergeron can get it. We've seen 4 wide for the race lead just a few moments ago. And James Eden's up to the top 5 as well. You know, those two drivers are very capable of sneaking up there, taking home this win away from one of these top 3 drivers.
Yeah, Bergeron started 17th. He runs 4th. James Eden's from 15th up to 5th in car number 52. We've got 3, make it 4 laps to go. Can David Heilemann hang on to score his first ever victory with the iRacing.com USAC World Championship Series? We're about to find out. Green flags back in the air. Heilemann and Berkeley to the top of the racetrack where your third place car, Zach Leon Hardy, works down low.
David Heilemann will take him down the back straightaway as your race leader. There'll be 2 to go this time out of turn number 4. Joe Berkeley in position number 2 right there with him. 2 more times around the racetrack for the Heilemaniac, David Heilemann.
Let's see what happens to the 9 car of Joel Berkeley. Does he try? Oh, and the caution's going to come out. The caution is going to come out, and unfortunately that will end the race here tonight. Not sure what happened. Looks like possibly the 90 car of Trevor Royer gets collected with the 11 of Cole Newhoffen, and that will hand the win right on over to the 49 car of David Heilemann. This time by off turn 4. They'll come down to the yellow and checkered, and the Heilemaniac will score round number 2 here at Kokomo Speedway for the USAC World Championship Series on iRacing.com. Congratulations to him. He had to earn that one here tonight, Tommy.
This is the original eSport racing game. This is iRacing.
Hello and welcome to the 3rd round of what is turning out to be a fantastic championship here in the USAC World Championship Series presented by Flow Racing. Randy Chineth, Chase Rodman, and Tommy Rowe going to be bringing you all the action for this one. And Chase, tonight in the 3rd race, we complete our 3-race swing of quarter-mile bull rings to kick off the season. We, of course, started a couple weeks ago at the all-new Fairbury American Legion Speedway. We hit Kokomo 7 days ago. And tonight, we're going to cap it all off here at Limaland.
Yep, and then we've got the next 2 weeks. We're going to the big half miles of Eldora and Knoxville. So should be an exciting next couple of weeks. But we've got to get through tonight first, and I think that after watching the late model Pro Series that came here a couple months ago, I should say, and that was one of the best races I've personally ever seen on the iRacing.com sim. I'm sure we're going to see some more of that here tonight with the non-wing sprint cars here with USAC.
I think you're right about that. Let's take a look at the points. And as you can see, it's your 2018 World of Outlaws Late Model Series champion, Zach Leonardi, currently leading the way in points. David Heilemann, after a big win last week at Kokomo, currently second in the points with the likes of Joel Berkeley, Cole Cabre, and Aiden Perdue not far away. And I think the big thing for them, Tommy, for everyone to keep in mind at the moment, is that you just need to stay smooth at this point in the championship. You need to continually put in good results. People are really struggling with these cars. We've seen a lot of cautions cautions the 2 weeks we've seen out there. Seen a lot of incidents the 2 weeks we've seen coming up into this. So these guys just need to stay calm, stay cool. If you're a name like Brendan Rodgers, who we saw win the first race out, Alex Bergeron was close to doing so as well. Even the likes of James Edens and Austin Sullivan and Josh Fox down there. You just need to keep the car right way around and keep the bottom pointed down towards the racetrack, and you can make some big points gains if some of those guys up near the top make mistakes.
Absolutely. It's all about qualifying well, finishing well in your heat race, as well as running consistently in the top 5, top 10 throughout these races. And like you said, guys like Brendan Rodgers, Alex Bergeron, a little bit of trouble the first 2 weeks with these short little bull rings. We'll see if they can make up the ground this week, as we've seen some great racing so far. Should be another great race here tonight at Limaland.
Of course, Limaland, like we said, another the quarter-mile bull ring. And the thing we have, Jay said, all these quarter-mile tracks we have on the sim, pretty high banks. We saw at Kokomo last time out that you could really run both ends of the racetrack. We saw cars up top. We saw cars down low. We saw that at Fairbury as well, and that's what's so great about these USAC 410 non-wing sprint cars is you can run both ends of the racetrack on these little bull ring racetracks. So good, and I think we're going to be in for a very similar show tonight that we saw through the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, last week I talked to some guys after the race, and they said that was probably one of the best track services that they have seen on the iRacing.com service. I mean, we saw Zach Leon Hardy all night long. I don't think he ever left the infield. He was running right next to the tractor tires and running up there towards the front of the field while your top two, Brendan Rodgers and David Hyland, before Rodgers' incident there, they were up on the outside next to the wall. So both lanes were pretty even all night long in that feature event. And the heat races, which in my opinion, the heat races both weeks so far at Limaland, or sorry, not at Limaland, but at Kokomo and at Fairbury have been fantastic. So I'm expecting some more of that here tonight as well.
So the timer for hot laps has come to a close. Time trials will be open out on track for all drivers right now. They will have 5 minutes to run their qualifying times. We take a look at the first driver to get out there. You see them heading in towards turn 3. That looks like it is the number 3, in fact, of Lewis Hewitt out there on the racetrack. I believe who it is. He's going to run through 1 and 2, and interesting to see what time he's able to put in. He works down the back straightaway and in towards 3 and 4 to start hot lap number 1. His first lap's going to come through. It's going to be currently the 20 of Brendan Rodgers, quickest at 11.925. Tommy, that's our week 1 winner, putting in a good qualifying effort here early.
Yeah, Brendan Rodgers, he actually ran well last weekend as well at Kokomo. Just ran into some problems in his A main event. Look for Brendan Rodgers to be very fast here once again on these bull rings, as last week he came from about 5th in his heat race to take the win and ran very strong before incident late in the race cost him the victory.
Let's see, we're seeing other drivers slowly put in times here. Joe Quinn's going to eject his lap. James Tiernan is going to be starting a qualifying lap here in a moment as well. As you see, currently the 8-second bracket as he comes through 3 and 4 towards the end of his first hot lap. First time is going to put him to a 12.0. That's going to put him up near the head of the field, but not quite quick enough to get him up in towards that top 5. Second attempt will have to be better, Chase, and he's running down near the middle.
Yeah, right now your fastest qualifier is Brendan Rodgers, 11.925. A close bid for that top spot between him and Trey Schmidt, the 22 car. Schmidt with an 11.928, just 3 1/1000ths of a second off the pace there. A good qualifying lap early right now for the 23 car, Justin Thomas, who is coming off some momentum from last week. Kokomo ran inside the top 10 in the feature event. So some familiar names at the top of the speed charts right now, and some guys that are looking for some more good runs up there as well.
Alex Bergeron in the 14, your World of Outlaws Knox Energy Drink Sprint Car Series champion. He qualifies somewhat middle of the pack at the moment through the 2 laps he has to work with. Austin Semmelman, what can he do? We've seen him be strong the first couple races. He puts himself about 9th quickest that first time out there on the racetrack. Let's see, second trip around, running sort of that 3/4 of the way up the racetrack, and he'll come through and he will not improve on that opening lap. Still a handful of big names we have to see run. The 9 of Joel Berkeley's out there on a timed lap right now. Joel has been really strong in the sprint cars. Did well with the wing cars, did really well with the non-wing cars as well. First lap gonna come through to a 12.019, puts him what is currently 5th quickest. He was 4th, but David Hyland and I believe it was Trey Schmidt quickly stole it away. Second lap will not improve for Joel Berkeley as some drivers starting to get their way up to the top of the timing sheets. Cole Cabre out there on a lap right now, as well as the 3 of Lewis Hewitt.
Yeah, right now, Brendan Rogers still fastest, but one of the guys that you kind of missed there was Alex Smolders turning a good lap there, third quickest for that 211 car. And, Randy, something I want to point out here, iRacing.com is so great in the fact that you can, run different race cars on different tracks, especially on the pavement side of things. You got, tracks like Rockingham and, a track like Lucas Oil Raceway, places that the NASCAR guys used to go to, but they don't go there anymore. And really, you're kind of limited to those places in real life. But on iRacing, you can come on here and run whatever you want, which is something I want to highlight here is, back in the day, USAC sprint cars used to come to Limaland, but, not anymore. They came here for the first time in 2002. They did not come, or they came back from 2002 to 2006, and they have not ran since. So it's cool to see that you can, have these different racetracks on iRacing, take these cars here, and be able to run run these cars here and see what they can do when, they haven't been running here since, 2006. So about 13 years since the last time the series has gone here in real life. So it's pretty cool to see this in the virtual world.
Indeed, that's what's going to be, and all drivers have rounded out their qualifying times. You see, it's Brendan Rogers. He gets the nod to put in the quickest lap of the race here, and with everyone done quickly, even though there's a minute and a half on the timer left, we jump right into heat races here as we go and bring up heat race number 1. Let's go down the starting grid for this one. It'll be a 7-car show. Brendan Rogers and Cole Cabre on that front row with Adam Elby and Vinny Sansone on row number 2. Trevor Fisher and Rusty Kruger on row 3, and Lewis Hewitt going to be tagging the back here on the back of this 7-car heat race to open up tonight. And Tommy, a lot of big names in this opening heat. Rogers, of course, winning the first race out at Fairbury. Cole Cabre, we know, is quick in all these dirt cars. Adam Elby, of course, one of the real drivers we have in this championship. Vinny Sansone as well. A lot of big names through those first couple of rows as we take a look at the format for the night on the left-hand side of your screen right now.
Absolutely. Brendan Rogers puts it on the pole. I do believe the second time in 3 weeks that he's done that, and he's led some laps in every race so far. Like you said, last week had a little bit of trouble leading halfway through the A main before his night fell a little bit towards the back. I believe he sits 7th in the standings now, but he starts up front here tonight. We see if he can put it back in victory lane here in week number 3.
So Brendan Rogers of Team D1RT definitely looking to repeat his performance from the season opener out at Fairbury at the moment. Puts in quick time, and it's actually very, very tightly contested. Only 0.06 of a second separated your top 3 qualifiers of Brendan Rogers, Trey Schmidt, and Alex Smolders. We'll be seeing Trey and Alex from the front row of heat races 2 and 3. But the drivers will be getting the 1-to-go signal here in just a moment. iRacing safety truck going to kick us off racing here. Brendan Rogers gets on it. We are green for heat race number 1. The 20 and the 12 going to be side by side in towards 1 and the 2. Here comes the 12 of Cole Cabre on the bottom, not quite able to work the cutback, but slider into 3, and Cole Cabre is going to have the lead for a moment, but 3 wide for the lead off of 4.
Yeah, 3 wide momentarily for the top spot. Rogers now has it. Adam Elby down low, 3 wide again off turn number 2. Great battle up front between 3 drivers. The 4th spot right now held down by the 80 car, Vinny Sansone. Behind him, it's the number 16 of Trevor Fisher. Fisher's trying to get by Vinny Sansone for that final transfer spot in this heat race.
At Brendan Rogers, he'll come around. He's showing the way right now. Here comes the 12 once again of Cole Cabre. He's going to try to slide up in front of Rogers. He will lead on lap number 3.
Rogers up the racetrack, big slide job right in front of, oh man, Rogers gets into the wall right there, hands the lead right to Cole Cabre. Now just like that, Rogers back to 3rd, 3 wide for the 2nd spot. Here comes the 16 and Trevor Fisher on the outside of Vinny Sansone trying to get the transfer spot up on the cushion. Here comes the 16 car, contact for 2nd between Elby and Rogers. Rogers into the wall, and we got a big wreck behind him.
Big wreck. Trevor Fisher, Brendan Rogers upside down, and that'll put Rusty Kruger into the 4th and final transfer spot, coming around at 2 laps to go this time for Cole Cabre in car number 12.
Sometimes you got to be good, sometimes you got to be lucky. In the 5 car, Rusty Kruger was definitely lucky right there. He slots himself into a transfer spot, but here comes the 3 car. Lewis Hewitt down to his inside. White flag next time by Slider for the transfer spot. Hewitt's got it. Kruger right back down to the inside, almost contact down the back straightaway. These guys are going at it for that 4th spot here, Tommy. 1 more lap to go.
Top 3 have ran away with it. Battle is on for the 4th and final transfer spot. White flag in the air. Rusty Kruger, Lewis Hewitt side by side, going down the back straightaway for the final time.
Head down into the final corner one more time. It's going to be Lewis Hewitt hanging onto the final transfer spot in the first heat race. 3rd will go to the 80 car, Vinny Sansone. 2nd to the 74 of Adam Elby. And your winner, the number 12 car of Cole Cabre. And just like that, rolling right into the 2nd heat race, Randy. What's going on there?
Second heat race is going to be a good one as we take a look at the starting grid for that one. We talked about Trey Smith and how good he was in the qualifying and how close he was. He's going to be starting on that front row, of course, alongside last week's winner, the 49, the Hylemaniac, David Heileman. We know he puts on a good show, and he loves to do so. So he'll be starting on the outside of that front row. I don't think he's going to look to stay there, though. Look for him to move forward. James Edens and Austin Simmelman on that second row, with Aiden Perdue and Alex Bergeron on row number 3, and Ryan Diotti on the back end of this 7-car heat race. We had a D1 RT car at the point of heat race number 1, and we have a D1 RT car at the back of heat race number 2. So getting involved in all of these heats early, as it's going to be the 22 Tony Stewart Racing car leading this field around, Chase. Tommy.
And Trey Smith, very good in these wingless cars, going to lead them away. Hylemaniac, David Heileman, last week's feature winner, starting the outside front row, should be a good one. Heavy hitters back there in row number 2 and 3 as well. James Edens, Austin Simmelman, Aiden Perdue currently sitting in the top 5 in the standings. We'll go green next time at a turn number 4. Heat race number 2 coming your way.
Here comes the 22 of Trey Schmidt leading the field. I think that number 49 Slick Simsport car on the outside of David Heileman going to be super fun to watch here in towards 3 and 4. Drivers will be waiting to see when that 22 of Trey Schmidt's going to go. He's going to hold him up. Nearly half the field jumped there trying to time it to 49 of David Heileman. Going to possibly lose third here. Second here, excuse me, as Trey Schmidt will hold on to the race lead in towards 3 and 4 for the first time. And drivers fanning out all over the racetrack, but David able to hold on to P2.
Here comes the 14 now of Alex Bergeron down to the inside of Austin Selman for the 4 spot. Down the back straightaway, Selman now to the outside of the 52 car. James Edens for 3rd.
Yeah, Austin Simmelman outside the racetrack. Here comes Bergeron as well, trying to power away freight train around the 52 of James Edens. Just not quite enough momentum to make it happen. Here comes Simmelman once again on the outside to turn number 3.
Selman trying to fight with that 52 car of Edens, but here comes the 14 of Bergeron up to his back bumper down the front straightaway. Where does the 14 go? He's got a roadblock in front of him. Now Edens slides in front of Selman. That's going to allow the 14 car to turn down the inside, and now the 18 of Selman does the same. 3 wide for the 3rd spot through 3 and 4.
3 wide, almost caught the second place driver of David Heileman right there as well. Almost 4 wide for position number 2 as Bergeron moves out to position number 3. Edens in the 4th and final transfer spot. And now here comes the 57. I do believe that's Diotti all right there together as well.
Yeah, a heated battle for that transfer spot. The entire field all over each other. Aiden Perdue right now is in 7th, but he's only about 5 car lengths behind the 4th place car, make that the 4th place car of Austin Selman. A battle for the race lead also developing up front too.
Emmelman holding on to the 4th and final transfer spot at the moment. Ryan Diotti up to 5th as they'll come around to see the white flag this time for the 22 of Trey Schmidt.
Yep, Schmidt looking good up front. David Heileman not close enough to make a maneuver on him here into 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway one more time. It looks like Schmidt's going to cruise home to the victory. Down into 3 and 4 one more time. Heileman's going to throw something at him. He throws a slide job up the racetrack. Who's going to be at the start-finish line? It's going to be... Wow, that was too close to go, but it looks like David Heileman with a final corner pass gets it done.
David Heileman sneaks out the victory right there over Trey Schmidt, and I do believe James Edens, Austin Simmelman take home the 3rd and 4th and final transfer spot here in heat race number 2, and we're getting set to go heat race number 3. Tell us how they line up, Randy.
Heat race number 3 is going to line up like this. Alex Smolders and Blake Cannon is going to be on that front row, with Zach Leonardi and James Tiernan making up row number 2. Bobby Sant Jr. and Bob King on row 3, with Trevor Royer going to be tagging the back of this one, Chase.
Yep, Alex Smolders will be leading this field. The green turned in a fantastic qualifying effort here tonight. And if you're not familiar with the lineup of how this works, whoever wins the first heat race on the pole of the feature, whoever wins the second heat race is, starting on the outside of row number 1. Then so far back through the field, excuse me. So if Alex Smolders wins this 3rd heat race right here, Tommy, he'll be starting 3rd in the feature. That's a good spot to be in.
Definitely a position he wants to be in inside of row number 2. One of the best places to start. If you're not on the front row, you got your current points leader, Zach Leonardi, on the inside of row number 2 here in heat race number 3. 3rd and final heat race. Should be a pretty good one. All these drivers very capable of coming from the back to take home the win here in a heat race. We'll see how it goes.
I'm also interested to see how the 44 car Blake Cannon does here. He was the winner with the World of Outlaws Morton Building's late model championship series at the Limaland Motorsports Park, and he was in a heated battle with Alex Bergeron. Big slide jobs all throughout the night in that feature event, and he starts up here on the outside of row number 1. Hasn't really had a great season so far this year, Tommy, but he's looking to turn it around here at a place he's had some success at in the past.
Yeah, Blake Cannon, definitely one of those drivers not afraid to throw the big slide job Hail Mary and try to take home a victory here in the heat race. And we'll definitely see his name later on towards the front, maybe in the A main. We're getting set to go heat race number 3. It'll be Alex Smolders, Blake Cannon coming to green right here, Chase.
Here we go, green flags in the air. Smolders gets a good jump, but the 44 car, Cannon, also gets a good start. The 211's going to throw a slide job down in the corner, take the race lead. Cannon, whoa, they got together right there. Cannon's going to lose 2 spots down the back straightaway.
And Blake Cannon slips up a little bit, then allows Zach Leonardi up to position number 2. And Cannon hold on to 3rd with James Tiernan right there on the inside. Big slide job coming for position number 3 as they work on lap number 2.
Yep, Tiernan tried to throw a slide job, but if he went up the racetrack a little bit more, he would have got into the 24 of Zach Leonhardi. Now Tiernan in trouble, might lose that 4 spot. Here comes the 51 car of Bob King to his outside. Tiernan through the middle, King on the outside. Here comes King down the back straightaway.
Yeah, King gets a great run down the back straightaway. Going to try to hold the momentum coming to the line right now. They'll pull side by side. Still give the 4th place spot to James Tiernan for the moment. Bob King holding on to the outside once again.
Yeah, King's got it clear into turns 3 and 4. Tiernan drives it in deep, tries the slide job, but King's going to drive around the outside. Oh, King gets tight. Here comes the 131 of Bobby Sant Jr. into the mix now.
Yeah, Sant Jr. a little bit of contact right there with King. That'll allow James Tiernan to pull away. And now the battle is on for 5th and 6th. Bobby Sant Jr., Bob King going to try to gather it back up and run him back down as Alex Smolder still leads here on lap number 7.
I don't think the battle for the transfer spot's over just quite yet here. Tommy, the 131 car, Bobby Sant Jr. looks like he might track down the 98 car. James Tiernan, your top 3 have checked out. 2 laps to go across the stripe right there. Your leaders, Alex Smolder, 2nd. Just behind in the 24 car, Zach Leonhardi. 3rd is Blake Cannon. And 4th for now is the 98 car, James Tiernan. Coming out of the white flag, does Bobby Sant Jr. make a dive bomb maneuver here?
One more time around the racetrack for that 131 machine. He's going to try to dive it down in there to try to take home that 4th and final transfer spot. They work the back straightaway for the final time. James Tiernan, he'll take it in the outside, and here comes Sant Jr. on the outside. It'll not be enough, and it'll be James Tiernan with the 4th and final transfer spot.
Yep, Tiernan gets the job done. He'll transfer straight to tonight's feature event here in heat race number 3. 3rd spot will go to the 44 car, Blake Cannon. In 2nd was the 211 of Alex Smolders. And your winner, the 24 car, Zach Leonhardi, will take the victory there. Bobby Sant Jr., Bob King, Trevor Royer will have to try later on in the B main event. Next up, heat race number 4 is on the racetrack. And here's how they'll line up. On the pole list one, it's the number 23 car. Great qualifying effort tonight for Justin Thomas. On the outside of him, it's last week's 2nd place finisher at Kokomo, the 9 car of Joel Berkeley. Row 2 inside the 121 car is Josh Fox, and on the outside of him, the 99 of Brett Osborne. Row number 3 will be the 901 of Joe Quinn. On the outside of him, the 11 car of Cole Newhalfen. And your final starter should be the number 83 car of Hunter Connolly. I think the guy to watch for here in this final heat race has got to be the 9 car of Joel Berkeley. He's sitting solid in points. He's running off a good race last week at Kokomo there, Tommy, and he might be able to snag a heat race victory here.
Yeah, Joe Berkeley's shown some consistency so far here in these wingless sprint cars. Currently sits 3rd in the point standings. Definitely wants to put on another great show here tonight. The Aussie going to try to see if he can't put it in victory lane for the first time this season with the USAC Wingless Series here at Limaland. As we get set to go green, heat race number 4. I do believe this is the 4th and final heat race before we go B-main action.
That is correct. Whoever wins this heat race will start 4th in tonight's feature event, only taking the top 4. Remember that, ladies and gentlemen. The rest of these guys will have to try again in the B main, which will be coming up right after this 4th heat race. Down the back straightaway, they'll get the green this time by off turn number 4. JT, Justin Thomas down low. Joel Berkeley on the outside. Then it's Josh Fox and Brett Osborne. Here we go, looking for the green flag off of turn number 4. Good start for Justin Thomas, and we're underway here in the final heat race.
Yeah, Justin Thomas, he'll lead him down into turn number 1 and 2. Hasn't quite had the season he's wanted to so far, but he's showing the way here early in heat race number 4. Here comes the 9, the Aussie of Joe Berkeley with a slide jump here on lap number 1.
Justin Thomas drives around him on the outside to lead lap number 2. Berkeley slots into the 2nd spot. Battle for the 3rd spot. Now the 901 of Joe Quinn underneath the 121 of Josh Fox. They're side by side for 3rd, and in 5th right now is going to be the 99 of Brett Osborne trying to find some racing room.
Yeah, Joe Quinn, he falls back. He moves actually up to the 3rd spot. A lot of contact towards the middle of the pack, and that'll allow Brett Osborne to move up to the 4th and final transfer spot with Hunter Conley on the outside.
Big slide job for the race lead. That time by through 3 and 4. Tommy, the 9 car of Joel Berkeley, put the move on Justin Thomas. Thomas turned it back down to the inside. We might need to see another slide job out in 3 and 4. Thomas tries to block the maneuver. The 9 car of Berkeley through the middle, and he's going to have the lead momentarily, but no, Thomas will lead on lap number 5.
Yeah, Joe Berkeley just couldn't quite get the run off the bottom of the racetrack to make the pass stick, and Thomas will try to run away with it. Here comes Berkeley with a big slide job one more time. Can't quite get in front of the 23 for the race lead, and we'll come around to 3 laps to go this time.
Berkeley's into the wall, and he's riding the wall into turns 1 and 2. He's going to come off the wall, hits the wall in the backstretch, and that's going to cost him a transfer spot. And that's going to move the 99 car of Brett Osborne up to 4th. Big time point implications for the 9 car of Berkeley right there.
Off break for Joel Berkeley. He'll fall back to 6th here in heat race number 4. Justin Thomas is checked out now as the battle is on for a 2nd between Hunter Connolly and Joe Quinn. It's Connolly showing the way in position number 2 with the white flag in the air.
Yeah, Connolly from the 7th and final starting spots up to 2nd. Going down the back straightaway one more time for the 23 car, Justin Thomas, right through the middle of the racetrack. And it's going to be JT taking the final heat race victory. 2nd spot will go to Hunter Connolly from 7th place. Joe Quinn will be 3rd, and 4th will be Brett Osborne. Behind them, Cole Newhoffen, Joel Berkeley 6th, and Josh Fox in the 7th spot. So Berkeley is going to have to put on a show here in this B main event, which is coming up right now. And on the pole of this one will be the number 5 car, Rusty Kruger. Outside of him, the 14 car of Alex Bergeron. Row 2 inside, the 131 of Bobby Sant Jr. To the outside will be the number 11 car of Cole Newhoffen. 3rd row, a guy we're going to be watching for also is the number 20 car of Brendan Rogers. On the outside of him, starting 6th, is the 57 of Ryan Diotti. 4th row, the 51 car of Bob King and the 9 car of Joel Berkeley. Row number 5 will be the 16 of Trevor Fisher and the 37 of Aiden Purdue. And your final row, the row number 6 on the inside, starting 11th, the 90 of Trevor Royer and the 121 of Josh Fox. So a lot of guys that found issues finding the wall right there in their heat races will be starting deep in this B main event. We're only taking the top 4 here, Tommy.
Top 4, and there's going to be some names that you see fall in the point standings maybe here this evening. You got guys like Brendan Rogers, who took home the win here in week number 1. Aiden Purdue currently sitting in the top 5 in the points. Joel Berkeley in the top 3 as well. So a couple big names that have had some great runs in round number 1 and 2 are going to have to make some big runs if they want to transfer here at Limaland.
There's a lot of guys here in this B main that I think should be a surefire for a transfer spot. I mean, Brendan Rogers, Alex Bergeron, Bobby Sant Jr., Ryan Diotti's been good. Joel Berkeley, obviously. Aiden Purdue's up there in the top 5 in the point standings. But like I mentioned, only 4 guys will make the show. This is going to be a dogfight.
Absolutely. It should be fun to watch, and we get set to go. I do believe we're going to go green next time at a turn number 4 to be Kruger on the inside, Bergeron on the outside. Very good front row, definitely capable of taking home this victory and moving up in the A main later on this evening. And we're going down the back straightaway for the final time.
Yep, getting ready to go here for the B main for the USAC iRacing World Championship Series presented by FlowRacing.com. Rusty Kruger and Alex Bergeron. Green flag is in the air. Who's going to lead him into turn number 1? It looks like it's going to be the 5 car, Rusty Kruger, in the 1 and 2.
And here we go. B main action underway. It's Rusty Kruger showing the way. Alex Bergeron to the outside. He actually falls back just a little bit. And here comes Sant Jr. going to try to slide up to 2nd.
Rusty Kruger's leading. Here comes Bergeron. Takes a look down to the inside. Almost 3 wide for the race lead. Right there, contact for the 3rd spot between the 11 of Cole Newhoff and the 131 of Bobby Sant Jr. No harm, no foul. They maintain 3rd and 4th for now. Here comes the 57 of Ryan Diotti, the inside of Cole Newhoff now.
Yeah, big dogfight battle for the 4th and final transfer spot. Brendan Rogers up to P4 right now, trying to hang on to it, looking for more. As Diotti now on the outside looking in. He's going to try to challenge once again on the outside.
3 wide for the race lead. The turns 1 and 2. The 131 of Bobby Sant Jr. slides by 2 race cars. He's up to the lead now. Now the 5 car. Kruger turns it back down on the inside. Rusty Kruger back up front. We're not even halfway through this one yet.
And Rusty Kruger split the middle right there, moves back up to the lead. Now Alex Bergeron on the verge of falling on the outside looking in. He actually holds on to the 4th and final transfer spot. As Aiden Purdue now up to 5th. He's going to try to challenge for one of those 4th and final transfer spots now.
Pretty much everybody I was talking about it before this race is up there inside the top 5. Aiden Purdue is 5th. Brendan Rogers 4th. Then it's Bobby Sant Jr., Alex Bergeron, and Rusty Kruger trying to hold off the field. Almost 3 wide for the race lead. A 5-car battle up front right now with just 5 laps to go.
Bobby Sant Jr. throws the big slide job on the 5 of Rusty Kruger. Kruger turns it right back down. How about 3 wide? Here comes Bergeron now.
How do you not love this? Now Brendan Rogers from 4th to 2nd. Rogers looking for the lead in the 1 and 2. Santa to the wall. Your leader, Bobby Sant Jr. in the wall, and collects Alex Bergeron and Trevor Royer. My goodness, what a turn of events.
Oh, tough break for the 14 of Bergeron as well as Sant Jr. running in transfer spots, and that'll allow Aiden Purdue in the 37 to move up to the 4th and final transfer spot. Maybe not for long, because here comes Trevor Fisher in the 16.
The 20, your race leader just absolutely clobbered the wall in 1 and 2. Brendan Rogers hangs on to it, coming by for 3 laps to go. Rogers leads. Here comes Joel Berkeley down the inside. Berkeley from the 8th starting spot now runs 2nd with Kruger 3rd, and the 16 of Trevor Fisher running 4th.
Yeah, where did Joel Berkeley come from? As they're 3 wide now once again for position number 2. Trevor Fisher on the inside now up to 2nd for the moment. Berkeley will take it top shelf, and he'll move back up to 2nd.
I cannot even count how many drivers have been in a transfer spot this race. This is unbelievable stuff. Trevor Fisher running over the infield tractor tires around the bottom side of the racetrack. He might have the lead by the end of this thing. He takes 2nd away from the 9 car, Joel Berkeley down the bottom side of the racetrack.
Going into turn number 3 and 4 for the final time. Big slide job by the 37 of Aiden Purdue. It'll not be enough, and Brennan Rogers will take home the win here. The B main, Trevor Fisher second, Joel Berkeley third, and Rusty Kruger will take home the 4th and final transfer spot. What a race right there, Chase.
I have nobody can see it, but I have a huge smile on my face after that one. That was unbelievable to watch right there. Guys that will miss out on the feature event tonight, the 37 of Aiden Purdue, Josh Fox in the 121, Bob King in the 51, Trevor Royer in the 90, the 57 of Diatti, the 131 of Sant Jr., the 14 of Bergeron, which is big point implications, and the 11 of Cole Newhalthen. Those guys will all miss out on the feature. Coming up next should be the 30-lap feature event. And Randy, are you back with us?
I sure am, and this has been an exciting racing that we've seen tonight, Chase. That LCQ, there was a big gaggle of 4 or 5 race cars at the USAC CRA race at Paris last week. That was absolutely phenomenal. That reminded me of that. That race was absolutely fantastic, but I mean, these guys were bloodthirsty in that LCQ. No one wanted, it seemed like, to stay in that top 4.
Yeah, that was the problem. There were so many guys that are up there in the points. So many good drivers were in that LCQ after having some problems in the heat race, and they were all going for it right there. And, you know, I think a big story out of that one was a guy that was pretty far up there in the point standings. Aiden Purdue was 5th in points. Obviously, Alex Bergeron was 7th in the points, and a couple other guys, Josh Fox was 10th, and none of them will make tonight's feature event. Things are really turning around here. We're not even at the midpoint of the season yet.
And actually, you talk about that 14 car of Alex Bergeron. Is that the first time we've seen him miss out on one of these LCQs? He made all the sprint car the wings car ones. I know that. Did he miss out on any of the super late model ones, Chase? Do you remember? I don't think he did.
No, I mean, he finished 3rd in the point standings. There's no way he didn't make all the feature events. So this might be the first ever time we have not seen Alex Bergeron in these 3 big series not make a feature here. So that's a pretty big storyline there.
Definitely is, and we're going to talk about, of course, this race in about 1 minute's time. And Tommy, this racetrack was absolutely phenomenal for all these guys. We're seeing the top work, we're seeing the bottom line work, but seems like slider line, that's what you have to do in order to make moves around here. But seemed like pole putting was starting to get efficient there late in that LCQ when we saw a couple guys, I believe, there near the end of that B main, start just about able to make that bottom work. I think it was a 16 of Trevor Fisher we saw down there on the bottom up against the tires. Going to be real interesting to see if that line can stick going into this main event.
Absolutely. Yeah. We saw some beautiful racing in the B main. Guys able to use it. Even the middle of the racetrack seemed to be working right there. You saw Trevor Fisher. He came working the bottom of the racetrack, able to make some passes up to 2nd in the B main. And we should be seeing a lot of great action here in the A main as these drivers just about wrapped up with practice.
15 more seconds of hot laps before we're going to put 30 laps on the board, and all 20 of these drivers will be duking it out for 30 laps here around Limaland. We've seen these quarter-mile bull rings put on a show, and this one has already done so, and the horn is going to blow. The drivers will get the call to make their way to the starting grid, and it's going to be Chase Rodman and Tommy Rowe on the call for your feature race here tonight. Chase, take us down our starting grid as we get ready to line them up.
On the pole of tonight's feature event from Limaland Motorsports Park, it's going to be the car number 12 out of Cornelius, North Carolina. It's Cole Cabrera, and on the outside of him, it's last week's feature winner from Kokomo, the 49 of David Heileman. Row 2 inside, currently 2nd, make it your points leader, I should say, the 24 car Zach Leon Hardy, and on the outside of him, a great starting spot for the 23 car of Justin Thomas. Row 3 on the inside, it'll be the 74 car of Adam Elby, on the outside, the 22 of Trey Schmidt. Row 4 inside, 211, Alex Smollers, on the outside of him, starting 8th, the 83 car of Hunter Connolly. 5th row inside, 9th start of the 80 car of Vinny Sansone, and on the outside is where you'll find the 52 car of James Edens. Row 6 inside, the 44 car Blake Cannon, on the outside of him, starting 12th, the 901 of Joe Quinn. 7th row inside, the 3 car, it's the Aussie Lewis Hewitt, and on the outside, the 18 car of Austin Selman. Row number 8, I believe we're on to, is the 98 car James Tiernan. On the outside of him, the 99 of Brett Osborne. Row 9, the 20 car Brennan Rogers, who needs a good run here tonight to stay up in the point standings. And on the outside of him, the 16 car, that's the Catfish, Trevor Fisher. And your 10th and final row on the inside, the 19 car, or the 9 car, I should say, your 19th starter, Joel Berkeley. And on the outside of him, from Loomis, California, it's the number 5 of Rusty Kruger. My goodness, we're rolling off from the grid right now, Tommy. This might be the best race we've seen all year with how this track is right now.
Yeah, this is going to be an excellent race right here. You got 1, 2, and 4 right there starting first, second, and third here tonight. Should be a great battle here at Limaland. Limaland, always a lot of fun with these World Championship Series. Should be a great race we're in store for here tonight once again.
Absolutely, 100% agree with you on that one. We saw, like I mentioned earlier in the pre-race show, that the late model championship series was absolutely fantastic when we came here. Blake Cannon, Alex Bergeron put on a slider fest that was will be remembered forever with these World Championship Series. The pace truck is off. 30 laps, round number 3 of the USAC World Championship Series presented by FlowRacing.com here on iRacing. Green flag is out, and down the front straightaway, it's Cole Cabrera, your race leader.
How about 3 wide into turn number 1 and 2 as Zach Leonardi, he goes down to them tractor tires. That's where we've been seeing him run the first 2 races, and he does not disappoint. Make it 4 wide now for position number 2 here on lap number 1.
Give that second spot on the start-finish line to David Highland. Contact between the 24 of Leon Hardy and the 74 of Adam Elby. No harm, no foul. Elby takes over the 3rd spot now.
Yeah, we stay green. They make it 3 wide now for the race lead for just a moment. Correa able to hang on to the lead. Adam Elby now working the bottom of the racetrack as he moves alongside David Heileman in the 49 side by side down the back straightaway.
Yeah, the 74 car, Adam Elby, looks absolutely fantastic down the bottom side of the racetrack. First, second, and fourth, though, up top right now. The 74 of Elby, really the only one working down low with inside your top 5, and he's making it work right now early in this one.
Yeah, Elby's making it work right now. David Howland, he'll take it to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to get a run on your race leader, Cole Cabrera, who's not giving up on the top shelf. And here comes Howland, slide up for the race lead. Cabrera going to cross him back over at the line.
The Hylemaniac with a slide job down in the 1 and 2. Cabrera's going to return that favor down to the 3 and 4. He's got the lead. Now Heileman down the racetrack. He'll lead on lap number 6. Heileman, another big slide job into 1 and 2. He might have it clear down the back straightaway. David Heileman down the back straight, your new race leader. Here comes the 12 of Cabrera right back to his inside.
Yeah, 4-car dance for the race lead. Now Zach Leonardi moves himself up into the picture as Heileman slides up to the lead once again. Cabrera back to second. Elby still lurking around on the bottom of the racetrack, still hanging on. Very tough on the bottom.
Yeah, Adam Elby catfishing down low right now. Car number 74 just looking for a podium run right now. The bottom might get better, it might get worse, but Elby's going to be down there anyways, trying to run it for all she's worth. David Heileman's pulled out to a 4-car length lead as now Elby's pulled up alongside the 12-car of Cole Cabrera for second.
Elby just can't quite get the bite on the bottom of the racetrack to make something happen. And here comes Leonardi through the middle for second. And Cabrera is going to cross him back over once again down the back straightaway. Great race for second.
Yeah, your points leader, Zach Leonhardi, now up to the 2nd spot. Cabrera tries to turn it right back down to the inside, side by side for second to 1 and 2. Cabrera up the racetrack, he's got it back. Now 3 wide for second off turn number 2, another back straightaway. And David Heileman's loving what he's seeing behind him.
At 10 laps down in this 30-lap main event. Great race for second right now. Do not want to take your eyes off this one. Cabrera's going to split back through the middle.
Oh.
Now Elby on the bottom of the racetrack may have thrown a right rear tire. They're 3 wide still for second.
What a race for the runner-up spot. Now Leon Hardy up the racetrack again. Cabrera right back down to the inside. And here comes Elby again to make it 3 wide for second once again. Here comes Elby. A double slider is thrown to the 24 of Leon Hardy's. The 12 is into the wall.
And the 12 of Cabrera catches the wall right there. Now Leonardi across back over for position number 2. And here comes Elby going to dive it back down to the bottom of the racetrack. And he'll try to slide Zach Leonardi for second. What a battle we're seeing, Chase.
There is no better racing than USAC Sprint Car Racing here at Limaland Motorsports Park. Big slide job again for the 2nd spot for the 24 Leon Hardy. The 74 right back down to the inside. Meanwhile, your race leader, David Heileman's out to a 1.5 second advantage.
A 1.5 second lead for David Heileman. Also want to give a shout out to Brendan Rogers, started 17th. He's worked his way up to 7th. And if these guys keep the racing up that we're seeing right now for position number 2, we'll see Brendan Rogers up there very, very quickly.
Fantastic information there, Tommy. Great job looking at the back of the field. The 20 car of Brendan Rogers on the move, contact in the front of the field, and we've got a caution. The 24 of Leon Hardy is involved. That is your championship points leader.
Yeah, that'll shake things up very quickly here at Limaland. How things change in just the blink of an eye. David Heileman's 1.5 second lead, though, will disappear with Adam Elby, Cole Cabrera now in position 2nd and 3rd. Justin Thomas, Alex Smoller's now at the top 5.
Man, a big incident there for the 24 of Leon Hardy. He tried to drive it in deep to throw a slide job on the 74 of Elby. He got over a tractor tire there, Tommy, and it picked up the left side tires, and after that he was along for the ride and got collected by a couple other guys, but just kind of drove it a little bit too, turned in a little bit too early into the corner right there and got one of those tires.
Yeah, that's the thing we've seen between the first and second races. Now it happens in the third. The tractor tires come back to bite a driver in the A main event. It just happens to be your points leader, Zach Leonardi, this week. He'll restart. I do believe he is in the pits now, 1 lap down, and that'll end his night pretty much here in the main event. 19th is where he's being scored at the moment.
Brennan Rogers putting on an absolute clinic right now, Tommy. From 17th up to 6th, the pace car is off. We're going to go for these final 12 laps here at Limaland Motorsports Park. David Heileman's back on the gas. He'll lead him back into turn number 1.
And David Heileman's going to try to pull away once again. He had a 1.5 second lead before the caution came out. Adam Elby up to position number 2. We'll see if he'll go back down to the bottom. Looks like he's pretty content on the outside of the racetrack right now. And here comes Justin Thomas back now in the picture as he's going to try to pull alongside Cole Cabray. And here comes Brennan Rogers making 3 wide contact now.
Yep, Rogers gets into the side of Justin Thomas, and he will fall to the rear of the field. The caution comes out with 10 laps to go. And as soon as I saw the 20 dive it down to the inside and throw a slide job on Alex Smulders, I saw that 23 car Justin Thomas in the middle of the racetrack, and I saw that contact come in there. A tough break there for the 20 car Brennan Rogers, who is having an absolutely incredible drive there.
Brennan Rogers was putting on a show coming through from 17th up to the top 5. Just a little too hard right there with the big slide jump. Maybe threw it a little too early, and he'll have to restart, I do believe, in the 13th position. We'll see if he can make a drive back up through the field, but he's going to have a very little amount of time to do that in, as David Heileman still showing the way here under yellow, where I do believe we're going to go green with about 5 or 6 laps to go.
Yep, David Heileman is your race leader. Cole Cabray is in the 2nd spot, followed by Justin Thomas, who is now in 3rd, looking for his first career iRacing.com World Championship Series podium here tonight. He ran with us in the wing sprint cars with the World of Outlaws. Never got a podium, but here tonight, looking for his first ever podium finish, and he's in the 3rd spot right now. So a good run for the 23 car. The lights are out. The final 6 laps of tonight's feature from Limaland Motorsports Park about to go green. David Heileman's back on the throttle. We're back to green, Tommy.
Yeah, David Heileman's back on the gas, going to try to pull away in a hurry. Here is your race leader, and here comes the 23 of Justin Thomas, going to try to throw it in there, make it 3 wide. Now here comes the 211 of Alex Smulders. May have caught a tire there into turn number 1 and 2.
Yep, Smulders down to the bottom of the racetrack just behind him. Vinny Sansone moves into the 5th spot as the 22 car and Trey Schmidt got into the wall in the restart, so Sansone's now up to 5th. Heileman leads right now, but just by over a slim margin, just about 3 car lengths over the 12 car of Cole Cabray.
Yeah, Alex Smulders in the 211 threw a little slide job right there into Justin Thomas. Smulders up to 3rd, working the bottom of the racetrack. Thomas going to try to power away on the outside once again. Vinny Sansone moves into the top 5. Austin Simmelman right there together as well. But back up front, David Heileman slowly pulling away as we're coming around. I do believe that's 5 laps to go here this time.
Yep, exactly 1/10 separated your top 2 drivers in lap times right there. That last time by Heileman with a 14.297 and Cabray with a 14.397. So Heileman's pulling away just a little bit. This time by only 3 laps to go for the 49 car up front.
Yeah, the battle is on, though, for position number 2 and 3 as the 12 of Cole Cabray's hanging on to it. Alex Smulders, Justin Thomas going to try to pull along right beside him. Just can't quite get the run. Smulders, I do believe, in the 211 on the bottom. 3 wide now for 3rd.
Yeah, good battle for that final spot on the podium here tonight. The 18 car of Austin Selman from 14th is trying to find himself up on the podium, side by side for 3rd as they come to the white flag. This time by Smulders down low. Thomas up top in the 18 of Selman and the 80 of Sansone through the middle of the racetrack. But off turn number 2 and down the back straightaway, the 49 of David Heileman, the Heilemaniac, into 3 and 4. He'll run the bottom of the racetrack, and he'll win 2 in a row here with the USAC World Championship Series presented by FlowRacing.com. Heileman wins at Limaland, 2nd to Cole Cabray, and in 3rd, a heated battle will go to the 211 of Alex Smulders. 4th, looks like it's going to go to Vinny Sansone, and in 5th, the 23 car of Justin Thomas.
A great drive by Austin. Someone 14th up to 6th. Joel Berkeley started 19th. He'll take home 7th. Trey Schmidt will take home 8th. Blake Cannon 9th. And rounding out the top 10 will be Brennan Rogers.
Absolutely fantastic racing there, and the last couple of weeks, we kind of worked the bugs out with this series. Had a couple of cautions, a couple more cautions that we're used to, with these World Championship Series. Only 2 here tonight, and some of the best racing we have seen on the iRacing.com sim, especially for that 2nd spot here tonight. Tommy, what an incredible race here.
Yeah, you can't help the cautions. You're going to get those with these wingless sprint cars, but you cannot overlook the 3-4 wide racing that these USAC wingless sprint cars have put on. It's been a lot of fun to watch up here. A lot of great racing that we saw in the first 3 races, and next week we get to go to Eldor and do it once again.
Absolutely. Let's go down the rest of the finishing order here. James Tiernan will end up 11th. 12th spot was Rusty Kruger. 13th will go to the 83 car of Hunter Connolly. 14th was the 16 of Trevor Fisher. 15th was the 3 car of Lewis Hewitt. Then 16th was Brett Osborne. Then it was a 901 of Joe Quinn, who ended up 17th. James Edens was 3 laps down in 18th. Adam Elby 10 laps down in 19th. And 14 laps down was the driver that entered in as the point leader. That's the number 24 car, Zach Leonhardi. He ends up 20th here tonight. So we are just about ready here, Tommy, for some victory lane interviews, and I'm sure we're going to be talking to some happy guys here tonight.
Absolutely. David Heilman going to make it 2 in a row here tonight. He should be getting ready to join victory lane here in just a moment. Get a word with him, and I do believe he's going to be in here right now, actually.
Yep, we're pulling David Heilman up here right now. David, Actually, we're having some technical difficulties here with David Heilman. Let's see if we can get him back in here to the announcer's booth. There he was, David. I think we accidentally shut the door on your face right there before you could come in.
That hurt a little bit. I'm going to have to talk here with my lawyer.
Yeah, sorry about that, David. But what a drive here tonight, man. You make it 2 in a row. Zach Leonhardi has some issues here tonight as the points leader. So almost guarantee you right now that you will enter Eldora next week as the point leader in this series. Tell us about the race tonight, man. I'm sure you saw it in your rearview mirror. The race for second was incredible.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. After that, it was just made the move in the heat race. I the whole heat race, I was like, it can stick in 3 and 4. It can stick in 3 and 4, even if it's got to be last lap. And every time I got a run on Trey, it was in 1 and 2. And I kind of flubbed both of those. But I was able to get that. I was start outside pole. Jesus Christ, I hate starting in the front, because once I got the lead from Cole, I was just able to hook the bottom and set up a slagger. And then I was just nervous the whole rest of the race. But man, it's glad it's over.
Yeah, man, that was a pretty sketchy race. I mean, talk about, to tell these people at home, I mean, these cars look like they are a handful to drive. You're up close to the concrete wall up there. I mean, you guys are maybe running within an inch or two right there. Tell these people how tricky it is running up against the wall like that.
Yeah, man, like I said, it just, even with all these cushion builds and updates and whatnot, it's just, you still got to be able to run it. And I mean, even before the cushion came along, I was always just a gasser on top and would always commit to the top. And it's just second nature at this point. And yeah, I was just able to get by Cole there, and then I thought Zach was getting second. We're battling for points because my teammate. It sucked to see what happened to him, but I'm not sure. But it's just, man, yeah, you can ask all my teammates. I was like, the bull rings is going to be our trouble, guys. The bull rings is we got to be careful. Things can happen so fast, and we get 3 podiums out of it. So hell yeah, we're glad we can head to Eldora next week for a little Four Crown Nationals fun.
Yeah, absolutely. That's pretty cool how it lines up. The 4 Crown is this weekend, and we'll run it next Wednesday.
I'll be there signing autographs if anybody else is going, by the way.
Perfect. So remember that, ladies and gentlemen. David Heilman signing autographs at the 4 Crown this weekend on Saturday. And speaking of Eldora here on iRacing.com, what are you looking forward to there? I mean, it's such a historic track for the USAC series. And, I'm excited to see how it all turns out. I mean, a big half mile like that up on the wall, it's going to be exciting to watch.
Yeah, shameless plug. Go check out my YouTube channel. The official races were really good there in the qualifying series, and I uploaded one of those where it was just 3-lane racing, really fun race I had with a couple of guys. So, like I said, I can't wait for these big half miles now.
Who are some of the guys that help you get to the racetrack? I mean, obviously you're a computer, but help you, get around the racetrack here.
Slick Sim Sport for doing it for me. Wicked Energy Gum. Not on the car again this week, unfortunately. But by God, they're in my mouth. And Napa Auto Parts and Two Brothers Stream Team, Race Spot for putting on all the dozens and dozens of Hylomaniacs out there. I gotta call out Chaz Thompson. He better watch it with that Chazomania, or I'm gonna have to sue him for copyright infringement. But just another awesome night, and I couldn't be happier. Thanks to USAC and Flow TV too. Flow Racing.
Well, there he is. David Heilman says, watch out, Chaz Thompson. David Heilman, your winner here for the second week in a row with the iRacing.com USAC World Championship Series presented by FlowRacing.com. And in second here tonight, a great run for this guy. Good points night as well. Cole Cabre has caught up with Tommy Rowe.
All right, Cole Cabre comes home with a good, solid second-place finish here tonight, and you looks like you're going to move up to runner-up spot in the point standings. Got to be happy with the night you turned in, bud.
Yeah, definitely. I was trying to put a feature together. I struggled the past 2 weeks with just with the track state and figuring out what I wanted in the car, but I finally was able to put it where I needed to. Unfortunately, not the top spot, but I mean, way closer than the past few weeks.
Yeah, 3 bull rings in a row. What was it like? What was the track conditions out there like tonight? You were throwing slide jobs back and forth. You were able to hang on to second right there at the end with guys like Alex Smollers throwing the slide job. What was the track like out there, bud?
It was super rubbered off up top. It definitely got worse through the race. I adjusted the shocks a little bit and did some stuff before trying to help it. I just have to give up to my speed lap guys for helping me so much with these setups. Wouldn't be possible without them. But yeah, the track was rubbered off, and you just had to be really calm on the throttle, and slowest faster paid off.
Well, once again, congratulations on your second place runner-up finish here tonight. Any more shout-outs or thanks you want to give on the through in Swindell Speed Lab right there?
Race spot for doing the deal and iRacing, USAC, and everything.
Absolutely. Well, Cole, congratulations on your second place finish here tonight. Best of luck to you in the rest of the series, bud.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, and I do believe Chase Rumman's going to have our third place finisher, Alex Smolders, up here in the booth with him here in just a moment.
Yep, Alex Smolders in the number 211 car comes home P3 tonight. Alex, I think he was in the heat race where you were absolutely throwing some bombers and running all over the racetrack, and you did the same thing here in the feature tonight, and you snuck by, I think it was Vinny Sansone and Justin Thomas there to come home P3. I think this might be your first World Championship podium. We've had you in the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series, in the past. I don't think we ever saw you on the podium, but here tonight in that third spot. Tell us about it, man. Are you pretty pumped about it?
Yeah, this is my first time on the podium for the Pro Series in any of the cars, and yeah, I'm pretty pumped about it. It's pretty awesome to be here. Yeah, and in the heat race, I just started on the pole and was trying to check it, but just couldn't quite do that, and Leonardi was able to throw a slider in the last turn to get the win from him, and we made a little bit of contact, but that's nothing to worry about. Yeah, I was all over the track. I was all over the track there in the feature, trying to find something to get a run on people and get around them, but for some reason I couldn't get the top to work or the middle, so I just had to stick with the bottom and try and roll it. Kept on clipping the tires, which wasn't helping too much, but hey, it worked to get to P3.
Absolutely, man. It seemed like early in the race, the bottom of the track was very good. I saw you down there running behind Adam Elby for the first 10 or 15 laps, and then towards the end, it seemed like it kind of went away. And then the last 5 laps, we've seen a couple guys run in the middle, run the bottom. At these racetracks, they change so much throughout a race night, it seems like.
Yeah, the track started off all the way up top, and then I went to the bottom, then I went back to the top. Then got pretty even there for a bit. Bottom was a tad bit better, then I went back to the top, and at the end it seemed like it was really even all the way across the track. People were running middle. I know I had a good battle with Justin Thomas, who was running the middle. Vinny Sansone and me were both on the bottom, just rolling it, trying to get what we could, and we were seemed to be making up a little bit of ground on Cole in second, but just didn't have enough time to get there.
Well, man, a fantastic run for you tonight. I'm sure we'll see more of you later on this season. You've been running good all year, just haven't really had the luck. Who are some of the sponsors of that number 211 car?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Wicked Cushion, Craig Kinzer Racing, everybody at Craig Kinzer Racing Sim Team, DRC Chassis. They do a lot for this sport, and it's great to see them supporting the iRacing world now. Profile by Sanford, Southern Pacific Farms, MVT Transportation, Border Tire, and again, everybody at Wicked Cushion and Craig Kinzer Sim Team. Oh, and Paint by Tuna Can. You got one badass looking car here for this series.
Well, Alex, thank you very much for joining us up in here in the booth. And tonight's fourth place finisher, Vinny Sansone, I think he's already packed the trailer up and left for the night. But we do have our fifth place finisher here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. A great run. This guy was on the podium there for a while, the last couple laps, and then kind of just fell back to fifth there at the end. Justin Thomas, JT, good run for you tonight, buddy. I know you put in a lot of laps all week long to get ready for these things, and it paid off here tonight.
Man, I've been waiting a long time to talk to you guys. Yeah, I'm really pumped. The pro nerves, as you call it, got in the way there at the last couple laps, and the old brick foot came in. But overall, I'm super stoked with tonight's result. Pretty much put together a complete night for the first time in a while, so I'm really happy.
And you talk about those nerves that you just mentioned there. Tell these people at home how nervous you guys really get. I mean, myself, when I get into a race, like a casual race on iRacing.com, I'm good until about the last 3 laps when I'm battling for the lead. I get a little bit nervous, but I couldn't imagine with the scale of this series, you're live in front of hundreds of people and, going for actual prize money. You guys got to be pretty nervous out there.
Yeah, pretty much every lap on the racetrack tonight, my whole legs are shaking. It's like it's like I'm deer hunting and there's a big buck, walking in front of me. It's the same sensation. You can't describe it. It's just a rush of adrenaline, and it's just really a testament to what we have to race on here. It's just so much fun to go up against all these guys. Even if you race with them 3 nights a week, it doesn't matter. But when the lights shine, you're still on edge and your legs are still shaking.
Well, Justin, congratulations on a good 5th place run here tonight. Who are some of the sponsors on that Mode Motorsport number 23 car?
Oh, I just wanted to give a shout out to my boys over at Mode watching in the Discord right now. You got Kyle, Garrett, Goose, G-Rock, Fricky, all those guys. They support everything I do. And then, of course, James Edens, me and him kind of, put our heads together to build setups for these things every week. So it's a lot of fun, and I just can't thank JR enough for what he does for me in this through Mode. He's a great ambassador to iRacing, and you could see the way the Peak Series is going, and I can't wait to see Mode grow as a whole. So thank JR. I couldn't thank him enough.
That's Justin Thomas, your 5th place finisher, and I think Randy ran down to the pits, and before Vinny Sansone could leave the pit area, he actually caught up with him. Our 4th place finisher is now standing by with Randy.
Yep, I'm stood by with Vinny Sansone, and Vinny, you were one of the big movers in the main event tonight, moving your way from 9th up into 4th. Started on the back end of that of the rows in the top 10 on the inside of the 5th row. Tell me about your night. Seemed like it was fun out there. A lot of lines and a lot of moves getting thrown everywhere on the racetrack.
Yeah, definitely a very dynamic track. It, just kind of hugged the bottom where I started, and I got comfortable. Tried the top. It was pretty good. I managed to avoid a few wrecks, and then the restarts kind of dictated where I ended up going with it. But overall, it was a pretty fun race.
And now for you, Vinny, I know that in some ways this is sort of the car, not even just the car, but the dirt stuff in general for a long time was something you were waiting for years. You were running, of course, an on-wing sprint, the asphalt sprint that we had, and even the old school Silver Crown that we have. And if memory serves, you used to run these non-wing style cars in real life as well. What's it mean for you for something that you've waited for so long, and you've been relevant in the sprint car series the last couple seasons and able to get yourself another top 5 here in this non-wing series?
Yeah, that's all very true. The expectations for myself when this came out, were pretty high. I really wanted to excel in this because I like you said, I did feel like back in my wheelhouse, and going through all the NASCAR Peak Series in those first years and getting through all the pavement stuff and still running with the iRacing Sprint Car Cup guys and Silver Crown, to all lead to this. It feels pretty good to finally start getting some finishes.
Well, congratulations to you, Vinny, on a strong 4th place run here tonight. Before we let you go, who gets it done for that number 80 D1RT machine?
I want to thank Joe Quinn for all the hours testing, and then all the other dirt racing guys, Brennan and Ryan, putting in time, throwing ideas off each other, and it just really speeds up the process of trying to figure out what works for you, and of course all the people that started me with real racing, like you said, my parents and all the family and friends, their support, watching here live on Twitch and Facebook, and their continued support through my 20 plus years and throughout my career, evolving from real here to the simulation.
There he was, Vinny Sansone, been a part of the esports competitions here on iRacing for a long time, ran in the Peak Series a number of years ago, and we've seen him the last couple seasons in the World of Outlaws Wing Sprint Car Series, and now in this USAC non-wing series presented by Flow Racing. But thanks for joining us, Vinny, and good luck to you next week when we head to Eldora, I believe.
Great talking to you guys. Appreciate it.
So there it was, a successful and exciting night of racing here. And Chase, what a show that 49 of David Heileman put on, not only on the track, but his interview is probably the most entertaining across all the world championships. Everyone else has to step their game up. And we talk about David, he's going to take the points championship lead. And right now, Chase, he's setting up to have a very Alex Bergeron style run. He's just won 2 races in a row, and on the season opener, he finished 3rd. So he put it on the podium all 3 races here. That number 49 Slick Sim Sport car is hooked up.
Yeah, the only problem with that is, Randy, I mean, we've had 2-point leaders in these first couple of races. Brendan Rogers, Zach Leon Hardy, and now David Heilemann. And the thing is that we've noticed, it's kind of been a trend. Rogers led the first race. He won the first race. He was the point leader. Came into the second race, wrecked while leading. Leon Hardy tonight was in the top 3, wrecks while up there in the top 3. And now, if history keeps repeating itself, David Heilemann might be in trouble here. So if I was him, next week at Eldora, the high banks there, I'd maybe be taking it a little bit easier, maybe just kind of look for a top 5 and just not wreck my race car, because history's not looking too good for him right now.
And Tommy, I'm going to come to you on that point. We have Eldora coming up in 7 days' time. Of course, a lot of the drivers in this series were, we've seen them in the World of Outlaws series, both in the late models and in the winged cars. But a number of those drivers maybe weren't driving these non-winged cars as much. The announcement for this series comes up, and everyone kind of kicked it into gear. They've had 3 pretty similar racetracks all back-to-back, all different. They're not exactly the same, but Fairbury into Kokomo into Limaland, they're all fast, high-bank, quarter-mile racetracks. Next, we have a big speed shift for them heading to Eldora, which Chase just said, super high banks. You're going to be nearly flat out, even in these non-wing cars, especially early in the night when the dirt's tacky. It's going to be a big shift in terms of how you make the car work and how you drive that place, considering and compared to what we've been dealing with thus far.
Absolutely. These drivers are the best of the best. They'll get to work this week and get the setup ready to go for Eldora. It should be fast, should be a lot of fun to watch. There's going to be multiple grooves. If it's anything like the first 3 weeks, it's going to be some exciting, fun racing. I can't wait to get there. Then Knoxville the week after that. 2 very different style racetracks. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
It sure is. Eldora and then into Knoxville is going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be a blast as we carry on in this USAC World Championship Series presented to you by Flow Racing. But that is going to do it for us here in round number 3. We have to thank everyone who makes this possible. Huge thanks to Mr. Chase Rodman and Tommy Rowe for everything they do supporting and calling this championship, and Hugo Louis working the cameras, and of course all the sponsors making this possible. Our thanks have to go out to USAC as well as to Flow Racing for making this 2019 series possible. The racing has been absolutely fantastic. However, this is not going to end the broadcasting we have coming to you during the iRacing Esports Network week this week. We have a handful of big events. It's going to kick off on Friday night. If you're in the United States, we're going to be doing the Aussie split for the iRacing Bathurst 1000. That'll be about a 6-hour broadcast on Friday, and I believe it'll be 1 a.m. GMT. Then on Saturday, we will have the finale round of the Porsche Esports Super Cup at Monza. We're going to be looking to see, is it going to be Max Benecke or is it going to be Josh Rogers who's able to bring home the first championship in those cars. And then on Sunday, we will be bringing you the BMW 120 from Road Atlanta. We saw BMW do a support race from Le Mans earlier in this year, and this time they're doing a similar one at Road Atlanta. You'll be able to see Hugo, Paul, and Connery on the call from that one. But that is going to do it for us here on your Wednesday night. We hope to see you next week when we head to Eldora, and we hope to see you on the Thursday after that as well when the iRacing Peak Antifreeze Series is going to be taking on NBCSN for the finale round at Homestead. But for everyone else here involved with all the championships, we hope to see you all next time. Bye-bye.